Before I was a nurse, I started out as a nursing assistant, and I also joined the military at the age of 17. In 2000, I got a really good opportunity through the military to go to a civilian program to become a licensed practical nurse, and I did that for about 18 years before I finished up my degree with WGU. My name is Andrew Nagel. I'm a registered nurse with the Indianapolis VA, and I got my BSN from WGU. In the United States military, I was initially trained back in the 1990s. It was called a 91 Bravo, which was a combat medic. I served in everything from combat support hospitals to ambulance companies. I did a lot of instructing, and so that kind of brought me to 22 years, and after 22 years, I felt it was finally time to retire. Working at the Indianapolis VA as a registered nurse is outstanding. It's an amazing place to work. I kind of am specialized in that I follow congestive heart failure and COPD patients specifically. Working for veterans, taking care of veterans, working amongst veterans because a large portion of our working force is veteran also. That as much as anything has kept me in touch with my former career in the military, and it's been wonderful. For me, the rewards have been being part of a team that goes out and gives vaccinations to patients who are stuck in their homes and can't get out to hospitals or clinics, and they are so thankful. I can walk into a veteran's home, and we may come from vastly different worlds. Our upbringings might be different, we might be from different parts of the country, but because we have both served our country, we have that commonality. And as a nurse, that can be a very powerful thing because it helps build that nurse-patient relationship. And they'll chat your ear off. They're just happy that you're there and so thankful that you brought this medication out to them that's gonna help them, save their life, hopefully. Now is a great time to be a nurse. You're gonna feel good about what you do at the end of the day because you're helping people who need help.
Once you've experienced the benefits of WGU's affordable, personalized approach to getting your degree online, it's natural to want to tell everyone you meet. Now, there's an easier way to let friends and family know about WGU. Refer a Friend is a platform that makes it easy to tell friends and family about the benefits of WGU and earn rewards. Sign up just once to get a personalized link that you can share with as many people as you want on blogs, emails, forums, and your favorite social media platforms. You can track how many people have checked out WGU from your link and earn cool WGU gear in the process. More referrals, more rewards, more convenient. Sign up today to Refer a Friend and help us change people's lives through education.
Farmers Coliseum at the Indiana State Fair Park. This is the 2022 Western Governors University Commencement in Indianapolis. This ceremony is for bachelor's graduates. This is a live broadcast and will be available for replay on YouTube and WGU's website.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 89th Commencement for Western Governors University. I'm Allison Bell, Regional Vice President at WGU. Welcome to Indianapolis. Graduates, families, and friends, thank you for joining us to celebrate this special occasion. Our ceremony is being recorded and streamed live. A special welcome to all of our online viewers joining us across the country and around the world. We thank you for your respectful engagement in today's ceremony. If you are able, please stand for the processional and remain standing for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. I'd like to thank Tracy Tabaki of Westfield, Indiana, for performing our national anthem. Tracy's a registered nurse whose 18-year nursing career in the Indianapolis area has focused on caring for patients with mental illness. She is currently a nursing education specialist for behavioral health at Community Health Network, and she obtained her BSN and her MBA through WGU. Tracy's, yep, give her Tracy. Tracy's enjoyed singing throughout her life and is the lead singer of the local band Rogue Heart. She's married and has 3 children, and she dedicates the singing of the national anthem today to her late grandparents, Joseph and Elsie Haas, and Ivy and Doris Lott. Thank you so much, Tracy. Let's give Tracy one more round. It's my honor to convene the 89th Western Governors University Commencement today. Please know that the safety of all our graduates, guests, faculty, staff, and all attending or supporting this commencement is of utmost importance. We thank each of you for taking the precautions necessary to allow us to host this event safely today. Thank you. In case you haven't heard, this year we are celebrating our 25th anniversary at WGU. In just 25 short years, we have had the privilege of helping many graduates find new pathways to opportunity through higher education. In our first 20 years, we recognized nearly 100,000 graduates, and now, just 5 years later, we've exceeded 285,000 graduates. We look forward to continuing our tradition of breaking tradition as we work to expand our impact in the coming years. To commemorate this special year, each of our graduates here in Indianapolis received a silver cord to wear during this ceremony. On behalf of the entire university and our Board of Trustees, we welcome our honored graduates and congratulate you on completing one of life's great achievements. Oh, yeah. Graduates, today marks a significant milestone in your lives. It represents an accomplishment, but also countless challenges overcome. WGU was founded to serve night owls, those who work diligently to earn their degrees while keeping their commitments to their families and to their jobs. All of you have overcome so much more. By reaching this milestone during a pandemic, you've demonstrated persistence and dedication and creativity and resilience. This achievement allows you to advance your careers and improve your communities in ways that are both measurable and immeasurable. You join only 33% of adults in the US who hold bachelor's degrees. Many of you are graduating today with a family member. We offer special congratulations to those who are sharing this accomplishment with a loved one, and I know you're out there today. WGU is grateful to be recognized year after year as a military-friendly university. We are especially proud to honor the military members who are graduating today. We thank you for your service to this country. You may have noticed that our military graduates are proudly wearing red, white, and blue cords today to symbolize their service to our country. We thank these brave and selfless patriots. Will you please stand to be recognized? Also joining us are many of our WGU faculty and staff. Please join me in thanking them for their dedication and commitment to your success and their pure awesomeness. Thank you. So I'd like to share some facts about today's graduating class. 38% of you today are the first in your family to earn a college degree, and we extend a special congratulations to you. Your average age is 38 years old, the youngest is 19 today, and the oldest is 80. "73% of you are women. The average time to earn a bachelor's degree was 3 years and 4 months. 38 states are represented here today. The state with the most graduates is, of course, Indiana with 400 attendees. And our graduate who traveled the farthest to join us today, more than 3,100 miles, is from San Francisco, California. Some fun trivia I discovered about this venue is that both the Beatles and JFK have appeared here. So when sharing about your commencement day today, you can share that fun fact. You are in a place of greatness. We thank you for being here today. You work diligently to reach an educational milestone that will change the course of your own history and influence future generations. Thank you for allowing all of us at WGU to play a part in the fulfillment of your dream. It has truly been our privilege. And now we have the honor of hearing from 2 of your fellow graduates. I'm delighted to introduce Jonathan Hernandez of Ohio, Bachelor of Science in Cybersecurity and Information Assurance. And then we'll hear from Annie Jenkins from West Virginia, Bachelor of Science in Nursing. Please welcome Jonathan.
Oh, wow. Good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations, fellow graduates. We made it. We made it. 2022 is a very special year for me. I became a United States citizen a few months ago, and now, thank you. And now I'm the first in our family to receive a bachelor's degree here in the United States. Six years ago, I arrived in Ohio from the Philippines with limited knowledge of what to expect. I didn't know that winter is fun, but only in the first week. You know it's true. But throughout my journey, there were people who discouraged me because of my background. There were those who doubted my skills and even told me that I am just trying too hard because of my accent. But I handled their criticisms and feedback gracefully. I conquered my fear. I earned my battle scars, and I told myself that my accomplishment will speak for myself. Soon after that, I got a full-time job and finished my associate's degree with the flying colors, receiving an award from the National Science Foundation. And after that, I told myself, Jonathan, what's next? I searched for a school that fits for me, and it's a good thing that I found WGU because it provides the education that I need to excel. My mentors and my instructors helped me to navigate my academics while I'm working full-time. I earned at least 5 certifications that I need for my career. I earned an excellence award for my paper in my information security management class. It is the same class that helped me to talk and to explain the importance of cybersecurity to C-level executives. And as I complete my classes one by one, I became a more effective cybersecurity professional at my workplace, at state auto insurance companies. But things didn't stop there. Nope. I gave back to my community because I'm standing on the shoulders of the people who supported me, who educated me, who mentored me. I serve as a career mentor at Columbus State Community College, where I help college students to navigate their careers. When COVID-19 changed the way we do things, I took the time to join different cybersecurity organizations to protect and educate people against cyber criminals. I became the cybersecurity lead of a nonprofit organization back home called Exceed Philippines. We conduct free IT webinars and train IT students to make our society better and safer. I had a chance to talk and gave webinars to top schools overseas, and had the privilege to talk at a national event hosted by the local government agency in the Philippines. The webinar was watched and viewed after by at least 4,000 people from Southeast Asia, the Middle East, and the world. It is a heartwarming feeling to share a glimpse of the WGU education that I receive with other parts of the world. My story might be different from yours, but one thing is for sure, that all of us conquered our fear, our doubts, our discouragement, and even the slow Wi-Fi in that coffee shops. Always remember this day, because you earn your degree, because you roll with the punches of life. And before we leave this place today, let me remind you of a wise word from Michael Scott from The Office, when he said, "May your graduation hats fly as high as your dreams. We are not here because of luck, no, because of the hard work that we have." And before I finish, I want to say thank you to all of my mentors, instructors, to WGU. And I want to thank God for His providence. To God be the glory, and I want to dedicate these accomplishments to my sister and my brother who is living in Qatar, Atitel and Kuyandoy. To my brother Christian, who is serving in the US Navy today. And to my parents, to Digna and Antonio, who doesn't have any idea that I will be speaking today until 45 minutes ago. Thank you for working hard and showing me the value of hard work. Your sacrifices are worth it. I love you.
Good afternoon, esteemed faculty, colleagues, family, and friends. And thank you all for being here today at the WGU 2022 Commencement in Indianapolis. It is my honor and pleasure to join you today. My name is Annie Jenkins, and I'm born, raised, and reside in the great state of West by God, Virginia. Go Herd! Renowned author Ben Sweetland once said, "Viewing success as a destination gives one the feeling that to reach it, you must ascend over tortuous paths and that the journey will be a long and trying one. This, of course, is not true. Success is not a destination, it is a journey." My journey of nursing started over 15 years ago in August of 2007 when I became a licensed practical nurse, but the seed was planted long before that. My father was the first African-American fire lieutenant in the small town of Shepherdstown where I live. He was a lifelong fireman for over 40 years. I watched in awe, thank you. I watched in awe as a little girl as he came home covered in soot and smoke, but always at the ready to face another day. My father was a Korean War veteran and instilled in me the advocacy that I display daily at my current role at the Martinsburg VA Medical Center in West Virginia. My dad was the unofficial mayor of our small town, and he knew everyone and everyone knew him. He used to always say, "Annie, treat people like family and good will always come back to you." This motto has helped me substantially over my nursing career. My mother grew up in Baltimore in the 50s and was the first person in her family not only to graduate from high school, but to graduate from college and obtain a master's degree. She is a retired school principal and always said, "Annie, people can take away material things, but they can't take away your knowledge or your dignity." As an educator, I watched my mom as she tirelessly graded papers, created lesson plans, and purchased school supplies for the low-income children at her school. She never wavered and was always at the ready to help someone else in need. I'm the youngest of 3 girls, and between myself, mom, and 2 sisters, we hold over 10 degrees and certifications combined. My mother always told me I had 2 options after high school, which were these: college or college. If it were not for her persistence, encouragement, and yes, nagging, I would not be standing here before you today. From the bottom of my heart, Mom, thank you. I remember my first job as an LPN working in a skilled nursing facility. During orientation, we were told to take charge as LPN supervisors on the floor and to make sure that we delegated appropriately. Upon completing orientation and moving to evening shift as a brand new, green, young, very naive nurse, I encountered my first reality of working with and supervising people. I worked on shift with a nursing assistant of over 25 years, Miss Vivian. Miss Vivian was 57 years old at the time, smoked Virginia Slims at every break, and wore her glasses right at the tip of her nose. She could also make a very mean red velvet cake. I remember delegating my first task to Miss Vivian, and I'm not sure if it was my age or the way that I said it, but I remember clearly going to complete that task myself because Miss Vivian told me every which way to go and called me every name but a child of God. We worked together for almost 4 years and grew to build a great relationship. She taught me more than any nurse that I've ever met before, and she knew each resident like the back of her hand. She was the epitome of old school nursing that I will always hold dear to my heart. This moment is not the destination, it is the journey. We've experienced unprecedented times over the past 2 years, and personally, I've lost over 20 family, friends, coworkers, and former patients to COVID. I'm still standing here today, though, in front of all of you, with the resilience, determination, and fight that I have in me to continue moving forward each day. I've also experienced a lot of good, though, over the past 2 years. I got to start 2 businesses, got to meet Mr. Jon Stewart, former host of The Daily Show, and even got to meet the VA secretary. I also survived virtual homeschooling with the 2nd grader. I love you, Yanni. My family always encouraged me to be better and do better, and this is my challenge to all of you today. Please continue to grow, do, and be better. WGU has helped me in this pathway, and I'll continue to grow and accept any and all challenges to keep standing tall. I'll leave you with this last statement. As Psalms 30, verse 5 states, "Weeping may tarry for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Let your joy come every morning and keep fighting for good." Thank you all, and congratulations, Night Owls.
Thank you, Jonathan and Annie. Thanks so much for sharing your stories today with us. Jonathan, I'm impressed by your accomplishments since coming to this country, and I really applaud you for pushing through and never giving up. Thank you for giving back to your community as well as to your home country. We're really spreading the knowledge and the impact across the globe. That's a huge part of what WGU stands for, and we are thankful for your example. And Annie, you know, a true night owl, in true night owl style, you keep pushing forward through the struggles and through the dreams and through the push behind what we all do with such resilience and determination. I appreciate the words of advice that you've given us, and thank you for moving your legacy forward with your work and with your community. Keep putting the good out there. Keep feeling the joy every morning, and thank you both for your stories today. Now, I'm pleased to introduce our commencement speaker and super excited to have him here today, Spencer Pasinger, a Super Bowl champion linebacker turned television writer and producer. Spencer brought his own poignant story of living in South Central LA and playing football at Beverly Hills High to the hit series All-American. Spencer developed the award-winning show about being an outsider in 2 worlds and also serves as its producer. Spencer grew up amid drugs, gangs, violence, and poverty in South Central LA, but with education-focused parents and a dream of going to college. He was offered the opportunity to attend the elite Beverly Hills High, going on to lead the football team there as captain to an undefeated season. A scholarship to the University of Oregon followed, where Spencer also became team captain and was part of that team's first undefeated season. Graduating with a bachelor's degree in economics, he began his NFL career with the New York Giants, winning Super Bowl 46 in his rookie season. Spencer played 7 seasons in the NFL, retiring in 2017 to pursue his dream of developing television and film projects that are focused on the Black experience in America. Now a sought-after writer and producer, Spencer has written and developed various concepts under his Moore Street Productions banner with Uninterrupted and Deviance Media. He is currently writing a film for Ron Howard and Brian Grazer's Imagine Entertainment. Spencer serves on the board of KIPP Public Schools Black and Latino Leadership Committee with the goal of creating programs for KIPP's South Central youth. He also serves on the board of LIFT's City Works Council, and Spencer is also a co-owner of Hilltop Coffee and Kitchen, a fast casual eatery with allegiance to underserved communities. He is a very busy man. Please welcome Spencer Pasinger.
Thank you, Marnie. I want to thank Sarah Van Winkle, Scott Baker, and the entire WGU staff for bringing me here today. Congratulations to all the graduates who have reached this milestone, and to the family and friends who have supported the graduates, I commend you. My name is Spencer Pasinger. I'm an ex-NFL athlete turned TV and film producer. In 2018, after playing 7 years in the NFL, I chose to retire to produce a television series loosely based on my life growing up in South Central Los Angeles while attending Beverly Hills High School. The show is titled All-American, and we're in our 5th season with our spinoff All-American Homecoming entering its 2nd season. If you've watched even a second of All-American, thank you. And if you haven't, thank you. And if you haven't, hopefully something I say here compels you to dive in. Indianapolis holds a special place in my heart. On February 5th, 2012, I capped off my rookie season as a New York Giant who defeated the New England Patriots in Lucas Oil Stadium in Super Bowl 46 just down the road. But playing in the NFL and having a television series has brought me immense joy, but it's not why I'm here today. I'm here today to speak about some of my lowlights and the decision that helped shape my life, including one that occurred during the lowest point of my career. One of my favorite quotes is, "Use what you have to get what you want." This quote, simple, to the point, leads me in all my decision making. Whenever I set a goal, I take inventory of what resources and assets I have at my disposal. I can turn anything into one big puzzle because I've always been attracted to learning how systems work. It's not enough for me to see the finished product. I'm the type that needs to look under the hood to see how the parts equal the sum. But what happens when those parts don't always add up? I'm sure some of you, walking across the stage today, did not have a clear plan of what it would take to graduate from WGU. Having to balance work, family, and a social life to obtain a higher education, that's a road that will never be smooth. So to the graduates, all of you are here today because you made a decision about your life and your career. Whether you're unfulfilled in your past or simply wanting more out of your future, you decided to come to WGU because you felt there was something within reach worth attaining. It's no coincidence that WGU is home to the night owls. When I think about the late nights and early mornings, the endless mounds of homework, and the never-ending balancing act of likely being a parent and a student, the sacrifices you all had to make weren't acts of selfishness. These decisions were made for your sons, your daughters, and your significant others, because investing in yourself ultimately has a ripple effect among the people you love. Decisions like these remind me of my grandparents, Carter and Leslie Pasinger, who in the 1960s decided to send their 4 boys across town to Ralph Waldo Emerson Middle School in hopes of a better education. Now, why does this matter? Because in 1969, the students of Beverly Hills High School petitioned the school district for integration. The students at Beverly felt their worldview was limited due to the lack of interaction with people of different backgrounds. The school district did a year-long review of Los Angeles schools and found one with a population of Black students capable of transitioning to Beverly Hills High. That school was, it's about to fall, Ralph Waldo Emerson Middle School. After my grandmother got wind of the proposal integration program, she petitioned for her eldest son, Carter Pasinger Jr., to be enrolled, and luckily, he was accepted. So after a few years, my father and 3 of his brothers all were attending Beverly Hills High. Now, if you've seen All-American, this is a much different origin story than how I ended up at Beverly. But going to Beverly Hills High broadened my scope of the world as early as 13 years old. And if not for the conviction of my grandparents to want better for their kids almost 60 years ago, I would not be here talking to you today. My grandparents' decision wasn't the only deciding factor of my going to Beverly. When it was time for me to attend high school, the school district I was currently in would not grant permits to any students attempting to go out of district. The intention was to force good students to stay local to raise overall test scores within the district. So after my mother got word of this, Autumn Pasinger, shout out to you, she took action. She grabbed the Beverly permit papers, told me to get in the car, and we sped to the superintendent's office. What happened next is like a scene out of a movie. My mother double parked the car, bypassed the secretary, and swung open the door to the superintendent's office, who just so happened to be in the middle of a phone call. What came after was a bunch of words I will not repeat here today, but it resulted in the superintendent signing my permit papers to go to Beverly Hills High, although I'm sure he would have done anything never to see my mother again. But both my grandparents and my mother's decisions to be unwavering in their pursuit for better opportunities for their kids is at the core of why I'm here today. As I'm speaking to you now, I'm thinking of the children in the crowd that are watching their mothers, their fathers, their uncles, and their aunts walk across the stage today. Your decision to attend WGU will impact them in ways you won't fully understand for decades. But know this moment is now a part of them, and it will contribute to their confidence when they decide to take strides us parents have only ever dreamed of. I'm often asked how I went from playing in the NFL to writing and producing All-American. Now, this career pivot didn't start with a proclamation or a vision of the future. It began with a single decision to be the best at my position. So every athlete's dream is to make it to the big leagues. But once you get there, the next best thing is earning a starting position. So entering the 2013 season, I trained harder, studied longer, and even tailored my complete diet with the sole focus of winning the starting will linebacker position. And guess what? At the end of fall camp in 2013, my dreams had come true. I was a high school star wide receiver that converted to safety and then linebacker while in college, and 5 years later, I'm being named the starting will backer for the New York Giants. This is fairy tale stuff, right? Wrong. The defensive coaches entrusted me with a headset, meaning I had to call the defense and make corrections based on what the offense showed. So imagine me in a chess match with, it's down. Imagine me in a chess match against Tony Romo, Cam Newton, and Peyton Manning. We started the season 0-6. This resulted in sleepless nights, peaking anxiety, and the never-ending fear of being cut. Although I knew it wasn't solely on my shoulders, I took responsibility because I felt like I was letting the team down. The dream I had as a kid to be a professional athlete was overshadowed by the nightmare of being a starting linebacker. I just wasn't having fun anymore. Deep down, I started believing that voice in my head that questioned everything. Now, why am I telling you this? Because the only thing that brought me joy and quieted that voice in my head was going to the movies. Sitting in a theater with my popcorn, my water, and my Raisinets allowed me to escape the pressures of the NFL. So eventually, during the season, we made a few trades. I gave up the headset, and we ended the season 7-9. But through it all, I still went to the movies. And after a while, I became interested in writing my own stories. So from 2013 to 2017, if I wasn't on the field playing football, I was in a movie theater or teaching myself the craft of writing a screenplay. See, sometimes the road you commit to isn't always the path you'll end up going down. I'm arguably the only professional athlete you'll ever meet that will openly admit they did not want to be a starter. But this dark moment in my life opened my eyes to a new goal worth conquering. After 4 years of learning my new hobby of screenwriting, a friend of mine read my work and shared it with his friend who had a friend at Warner Brothers. This led to me writing a one-page document that became the pivot to All-American and what I call my first career. I think about the person I was during those most depressing parts of my life, and I smile. Often we are taught to shed old skin and do away with anything that doesn't serve us, but I keep that 25-year-old kid close to my heart, because he had to go through all those dark moments for me to stand here talking to you today. When I talk about using what you have to get what you want, sometimes the resources and assets you have at your disposal won't get you to your goal. But that X factor is usually a feeling you can't shake. It's your first thought in the morning and your last thought before bed. And as I look out into the crowd today, I believe many of you know exactly what I'm talking about, because it was that feeling that allowed you to start climbing, knowing you would figure it out on the way up. So in closing, I have a call to action to all my graduates today. After you receive your diploma, you hug your family and your friends, you go out to eat, and do all the fun things that come with today. When you get a moment, I want you to close your eyes with yourself. Just sit with yourself for a moment. And remember that person in you who decided to go after the goal achieved today. I want you to thank them, because at some point, the person you were became the person you are. And that person you were loves you for sticking with it. As you continue through life reaching new highs and accomplishing new goals, always remember it started with a single decision to commit. And I promise you, the person who made it is smiling as they watch it all play out. Thank you, and go Night Owls.
Spencer, your story of perseverance and putting in the work to achieve your goals and your dreams is incredibly relevant, especially to all of our night owls here today celebrating this milestone. We are truly, truly grateful to have you with us here today. Thank you for being here. And now, well, let's have one more round of applause for Spencer. Incredible. Okay, and now this is the moment. Dr. Lucas Cavley will confer degrees.
All righty, I know you've all been waiting for this, but nonetheless, we still need you to start your engines because we are here in Indy after all. So, we now recognize each of our bachelor degree candidates. So, listen closely. Would the candidates for bachelor's degrees and post-baccalaureate teacher preparation endorsements please rise if you are able? Nobody ever stands up. It's amazing. Come on now. That's all you. You got it. That's you. You're a candidate. We're so proud of you. Now, it's upon the favorable recommendation of our faculty and the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the member governors of Western Governors University that I hereby confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree or the endorsement that you have earned. This includes the Bachelor of Arts, the Bachelor of Science, the Bachelor of Science in Nursing, or the Post-Baccalaureate Teacher Preparation endorsement, with all the rights and privileges thereto appertaining. You may now move your tassel from the right to the left side of your mortarboard. We are so proud of you, and we have enough milk for each of you to douse yourselves now that you've reached the winner's circle here in Indianapolis. But please be seated just for a moment. The following leaders of each of our 4 colleges and schools will now invite the graduates to the stage for their moments in the spotlight. So first, we're going to have Margaret Simona. She's the Vice President and Dean of the College of Business Programs. Secondly, we're going to bring up Kimberly Mao. She's the Director and the Associate Dean of Academic Programs for the Michael O. Levitt School of Health. Thirdly, we'll bring up Paul Bingham. He's the Vice President and Dean of the College of Information Technology. And last but certainly not least is Dr. Aaron Popham. He's the Academic Vice President and Dean for our School of Education. Margaret, the stage is yours.
Congratulations, graduates of the College of Business. Please, starting with the first row, make your way up to the stage to be recognized individually.
Julie Ann Harvey.
Yamay Rolfs.
Ashley Tharp.
Mary Beth Neal.
Ashley Hockey.
Aubrey Ritchie.
Jamie Ramirez.
Timothy Wasta.
Olivia Brenninger.
Betsy Payne.
Christy Burgess.
Jackie Downing.
Caitlin Mace.
Rachel Williams.
Katie Mishler.
Wade Richardson.
Tyrell Sloan.
Julia Salisbury.
James Wilkerson.
Brittany Brock.
Laura Maharan.
Laura Miller.
Tsitsi Gunzuza.
Clarissa Hicks.
Tracy Mitchell Hughes.
Victoria Hernandez.
Angelina Sumner.
Tanner Weaver.
Christina Dorton.
Rosemary Spack.
Matthew Vinson.
Britt Reitz.
Sylvia Swenson.
Jason Owens.
Zach Swenson.
Ahmad Hamid.
Ashlyn Hogan.
Jennifer Hunt.
Joshua Kuhn.
Tanya Taylor.
Stephen Shedd.
Michelle Jenkins.
Jamie Ashland Morgan.
Courtney Welsh.
Anthony Johnson.
Sarah Smith.
Caitlin Trotter.
Tammy Schneider.
Jeffrey Jennings.
Jessica Quillen.
Paul Lindsley.
Caitlin Thor.
Mary Haas.
Sheree Reeves.
Kaylee Walters.
Laura Pock.
Mark Fox.
Rachel Fuller.
April Breedlove.
Amber Frary.
Jessica Breedlove.
Carlo Long.
Bobby Collins.
Jessica French.
Hannah Brown.
Whitley Sigmund.
Megan Badger.
Mary Vickers.
Angela Toney.
Krenisha Magere.
Brian Arnholt.
Trey Stevenson.
Lydia Head.
Samantha Schmidt.
Fred Boyd.
Michael Weatherspoon.
Robin Sturworth.
Riley Schroyer.
Chad Hormanek.
Emily Katz.
John Bell.
Nicholas Casey.
Amber Parkhurst.
Hidowu Ogundere.
Jessica Thompson.
Justin Davis.
Nicole Shively.
Kelly Cloud.
Davon Lee.
Joshua Folk.
Jason Butler.
Natasha Reese.
Lacey McGovern.
Beth Donovan.
Jill Wasson.
Valerie Birdsong.
Brittany Dudley.
Catherine Davis.
James Warner.
Charles Eskew.
Logan Bonesteel.
Josta D. Houston.
Dion Patgorski.
Brad Graham.
Hannah MacArthur.
Chelsea Ford.
Stephanie Dorsey Cup.
Laura Joyner.
Larry Tyler.
Tracy Baldwin.
Amos Hisai.
Juan Carlos Medina Jaimes.
Luke Rishar.
Sybil Yost.
Drew Byerly.
Janet Marsh.
Michelle New.
Dawn Sorensen.
Stacy Tegler.
Sarah Lydia Keel Stewart.
Alicia Diedrich.
Lynn Campo.
Megan Emerzel Davis.
Matthew Pomfret.
Jessica Gonzalez.
Tracy Dupin.
Andrea Wheaton.
Leroy Valdez.
Edward Kozan.
Spring Charisse McElroy.
Carol Perry-Ellis.
Abby Chalfont. Kevin Snellenbarger. Tony Spillman. Lisa Nicholson. Brittany Holly. Congratulations to the graduates from the College of Business.
Good afternoon. It is my privilege to congratulate the nurses and health professionals graduating from the Michael O. Levitt School of Health. Would the graduates please come forward to the stage to be recognized individually?
Jessica Rivera.
Anu Go Pirajan.
Yasmin Zapata Gonzalez.
Gabriela Hegerfeld.
Kayla Wilson.
Kiana Bates.
Shar Lang.
Bridget Singleton.
Anne-Marie Theodore.
Victoria Rice.
Lena Tran.
Carrie Johnson.
Charla Nelson.
Melodin Trammell.
Sheila Strickland.
Sushila Bhattarai.
Jasmine Swan.
Shalonda Porter.
Keisha Luckett.
Jackie Lakey.
Latanya McGee.
Cassie Kuhn.
Staris McBride.
Starla Martin.
Carrie Young.
Danielle Polichetti.
Melanie Smith.
Juanita Perkins.
Carla Marie Scott.
Laura Orr.
Mary Starr Eli.
Sarah Wood.
Jennifer Madaki.
Tasha Vernon.
Kelsey Caruso.
Lindsay Ziegler.
Tracy Oakes.
Shatara Gover.
Alicia Thaxton.
Amy Mobley.
Tumnima Karki Adiakara.
Holly Isa.
Mariatu Bangura Neti.
Kara Fitzgerald.
Tandanani Chapoda.
Sabitri Sapkota Giri.
Erica Mims.
Angela Madden.
Laura McKinley.
Cassie Dahl.
Trisha Yoder.
Kiara Hutchinson.
Gavaray DeCoon.
Valera Adamu.
Allison Cross.
Araceli Zavala.
Alexis Gonzalez.
Oliver Kinabira.
Emily Durham.
Annette Ariba.
James Austin Walker.
Katie James.
Shanita Davis.
Marlon Flores Gallegos.
Jasmine Eccles.
Lillian Manju.
Roshea Scott.
Wenya Mabau.
Annie Jenkins.
Angelette Wells.
Raven Butler. Chanel Smith.
Congratulations to the graduates of the Levitt School of Health.
Are you ready? Yep. Proving that IT people are a lot more fun than you think, the graduates of the College of Information Technology are the creators, managers, and defenders of the data, apps, and devices that make all of our lives better. Please come forward so that we can celebrate your accomplishments.
Stephanie Neermans.
Clayton Cole.
Peter Martin.
Eric Reagan.
David Greeny.
Monica Fife.
Christopher Hejeri.
Joseph Kallenbach.
Jessica Lowry.
Emily Carroll.
Caleb Moore.
Maximilian Wineski.
Justin Young.
Joshua White.
Arvin Noel Vitug.
Landon Kaufman.
Ken Isaiah Zaragoza.
Jose Arvizu.
Ramel de Guzman.
Nader Tareen.
James Crace.
Douglas Spittler II.
Jacob Money.
Jonathan James.
Ronnie Gonzalez Morales.
Melissa Hargis.
Trevor Martin.
Dale Allen.
Wyatt Scheiding.
Kunal Shah.
Oluwatomisin Jiwamogo Rewa.
Megan Riffey.
Richard Jones.
Jessica Rickey.
Jonathan Hanselman.
Ashley Farrell.
Seth Dinfan.
Vanessa Newmeyer.
Leonard Brown.
Amanda Baird.
Braden Odom.
Mike Flanagan.
Alex Irvine.
Jeffrey Murray.
William Parsley.
Angela Caulfield.
Isaac Dolce.
Keith Stewart.
Jonathan Anthony Hernandez.
Dallas Merck. Vanessa Noriega. Prince Evans Kwachi. Torsen Ajayi. Congratulations to the graduates of the College of Information Technology.
Yeah, jump up.
Good afternoon, School of Education graduates. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and leadership of the school, we congratulate you on this wonderful occasion. Please rise and come forward to be recognized for your accomplishment.
Kelly Ronimus.
Brittany Green.
Heather McConnell.
Ashley Channels.
Leanna McLaughlin.
Caitlin Will.
Emily Johnson.
Taylor Schulte.
Caitlin Sarazine.
Cody Clady.
Heather Worrell.
Erica Martella.
Nativita Sotilo Sanchez.
Krissa Yoder.
Sonia Hoagland.
Brett Orr.
Amber May.
Tori Polka.
Brittany Thiem.
Samantha Joanne Wald-Billig.
Crystal Cristobal.
Nicole Hathaway.
Nicholas Bernard.
Stephen George.
Anna Trout.
Michelle Merwin.
Rhonda Feathers.
Kimberly Sparks.
Cherokee Marks.
Michelle Moy.
Olivia Turner.
Aaron Edwards.
Lindsay Lucas.
Sabrina Trout.
Caitlin Atkins.
Christopher Presley.
Laura Riley.
Carly Mingy.
Stephanie Ray.
Kelly Kindig.
Kathleen Dowding.
Ariona Bidu Thomas.
Jewel Hernandez.
Bonda Tynstra.
Gregory Sargent.
Victoria Aldridge.
Bruce Ford.
Tracy Statham.
Taylor Jones.
Stacy Becker.
Megan Bias-Berger.
Kyle Brown.
Leslie Peacock.
Taryn Bendis.
Kristen Yon.
Christina Klopik.
Hannah Clark.
Michael McHugh.
Demetria DeCurry.
Katiana Breland.
Dalton Basinger.
Rachel Elam.
Heather Livesey.
Danny Elam.
Tiffany Bowers.
Sarah Shoemaker.
Rachel Gremian.
Kelly Donat.
Annalisa D'Agostino.
Tasha Sayers.
Heather Williams.
Christine Simnick.
Laura Sturkenberg.
Heather Kopp Rauschenberg.
Victoria Shearer.
Valerie Bennett.
Vanessa Tehran.
Ashley Blake.
Brianna Cox.
Shayna Bonney.
Holly Irwin.
Kanisha Celestine.
Ashley Lucas.
Ashley Esposito.
Sydney Price.
Tiffany Bosselman.
Susan Fifley.
Crystal Mason.
Stacy Day.
Melanie Quick.
Allison Cochran.
Nate Bradshaw.
Cecilia A. Roteria Estrada.
Peyton Walters. Anna Akhtar. Mariah Price. Congratulations to the graduates of the School of Education.
Congratulations, graduates! As we conclude our ceremony, I'd like to take this moment to recognize and thank those of you wearing blue and gold philanthropy cords today for your generosity and your support of WGU's Fellow Night Owl Scholarship. Philanthropy cords are not only a physical symbol of the graduates' commitment to WGU, but they also support a legacy that will last for generations to come. Thanks to the incredible support of these alumni and thousands of alumni before them, more than $200,000 has been raised for the Fellow Night Owl Scholarship, which has helped 175 students cross the finish line to graduation. For many of you, earning your diploma is the fulfillment of a lifelong goal. The degree you have earned at WGU will create new pathways to opportunity. But it's important to remember that commencement really isn't the end. It represents a new beginning. Whatever you choose to do, I know you'll do it well, and great things will follow. You've already demonstrated many wonderful abilities, and I look forward to seeing what each of you achieve in this next chapter of your lives. It's also important to remember that learning is a lifelong journey. And as you continue your journey, I encourage you to help support others who are pursuing their dreams and who are seeking out meaningful ways to contribute in their work and in their communities. As we close today, I hope you'll take a moment to reflect on the pride you felt during this ceremony as you're stepping out into your new beginning. Thank you so much for letting us be a part of your educational journey. As you celebrate, please share your excitement on social media using the hashtag WGUgrad. And please do, I look forward to hearting every single one of them. Thank you so much for joining us and have an amazing day.